Hey y'all, this is Alex from the Rim Review. The Rim Review is a page that offers in-depth player analysis and gives nuance to the way you watch basketball. In this series, we're going to be looking over every single prospect in the upcoming draft class, some of which you may already know. However, there are going to be numerous hidden gems we explore throughout the series. In today's episode, we're going to look at the 6'9 forward out of Kansas, Johnny Furphy. There are a few major strengths to Johnny Furphy's game. The first of which is his cutting, where Furphy averaged 1.47 points per possession on cuts. The next of which, and the biggest part of his game, is his three-point shooting, where 61% of his shots were threes. While he was a very good three-point shooter at Kansas, he could have been better. However, in high school, he was touted as an elite three-point shooter, and I have no doubt that that will translate to the pros. Finally, when he does create for himself, it is frequently on straight line drives where he uses his length to score. There are some major weaknesses to Furphy's game. The first of which is his isolation scoring, which outside of straight line drives is pretty much non-existent. The next is his pick and roll offense, where I would really have liked to see him be more effective as a screener with his height at 6'9". However, it was inconsistent and most of the time throughout the year, pretty poor. Finally, his shooting off the dribble is pretty bad, and he shoots 26% off the bounce. Furphy is pretty much going to be a catch and shoot guy off the league, but I would like to see him maybe have a couple more moves when it comes to attacking closeouts. Now let's explore Johnny Furphy's game and start with transition. On this possession right here, Furphy's going to do a really good job running the floor hard and getting a nice look. Well, there's nothing really special about this here. I like the fact that he showcases a flash of running hard for a rim run and a somewhat athletic looking dunk. On this possession, we're going to see Furphy get the rebound and go coast to coast to get a basket. I like that he recognizes that number 0 on Oklahoma isn't looking at him and has a low point of contact, as 0 seems to be almost predetermining that there's going to be a drag screen from Kevin McCullough. So Furphy continues to go and has a nice finish. On this possession, Furphy also attempts to go coast to coast. However, he's a bit out of control. And yeah, that's pretty much what happens. I'd like to see Furphy get his balance, recognize that Jesse Edwards from West Virginia is way too big for him, and have a wide open kick to the corner. Furphy doesn't see that, and honestly, it just looks embarrassing. When it comes to not having the ball in transition, Furphy does a really good job sprinting to the right spot and flowing to a nice jumper. You love to see it. Another thing that Furphy does really well is knowing when to sprint to the corner, which is a really good thing from a spacing perspective. And then he has a nice no-dip 3. While the 3 doesn't go in, I love seeing the no-dip look and the quick release. On this final possession, Johnny Furphy has a really good contest and pushes the ball while managing to look to pass. I like seeing him be a little more in control with his dribble there and making a good read. Now let's move on to Johnny Furphy as a cutter, which is one of the areas of his game that is elite. In this possession, he flows very nicely as he kind of is running up the baseline and then says, okay, I'm just going to cut back door and get a nice 2-foot finish. Really simple, but it's those kind of plays that are going to allow him to get buckets that are outside of just spot up looks. Right here, he does a really nice job initially slowing up. When he sees that this Texas defender is focused on the drive, he just makes a nice cut to the basket, which is really good to see. I also could see him in the future, maybe considering drifting to the corner, which is another great look, but I think the cut behind here, this slash cut, is the better read, considering the direction the Texas defender was. Right here on this possession, Johnny Furphy is going to cut from the corner, as this post presence draws a lot of eyes from the Marquette defense. Furphy slowly drifts in, and then once again, what I love seeing is the fact that he plays off of 2 feet. As you see right here, he's jumping off of 2, which allows him to absorb this contact and finish the basket. Now let's get into the shooting and the movement off ball, which is why Johnny Furphy is projected to be an NBA player. Right here, Furphy's consistently moving, and he relocates to the corner and makes a nice 3. I love seeing this movement from Furphy because, once again, shooting off movement's what's going to happen in the NBA. Right here, I love the fact that he relocates to the corner again to get a nice open look. He's being involved in the play, moves past his man, and gives Hunter Dickinson a really easy pass. Furphy's also very talented when it comes to getting offensive rebounds. You see he does a great job crashing there and then gets a really nice corner three. Really simple stuff, but it's just nice to see. On this possession, Furphy showcases his range as he's ready to shoot, and when Gonzaga sends a double team, it's a nice quick jumper and a deep three. Really great to see. Against Houston here, Furphy's continuously ready. He's moving, drifts to the corner, and knocks it down. Really great stuff. All of these plays when you're watching Furphy are extremely simple, but when you're 6'9" and you're just barely 19 years old, simple's all you need to make the NBA. What I love about this three right here is just how quickly the release is off of a pass from Hunter Dickinson that was a bit off and a bit low. I love his ability to adjust and still knock it down. On this possession, Furphy continues to move and he just slowly slides to space. Without ever really running, Furphy is able to almost hop step from one wing to the complete opposite wing right here. Really great stuff to see, and it allows his defender, he just gets completely by him because his defender isn't paying attention. Really nice and really enjoyable. On this possession, Johnny Furphy is going to have a shake three. What this means is it's when this ball screen occurs right here, Johnny Furphy is just going to lift, which allows him to become more open and get it. While he doesn't lift as high as I would like to see from him, which is why it doesn't, part of the reason why he's not as open, I'd like to see him come up a bit more, but the high pressure from West Virginia makes it a tougher shot, and it doesn't fall. One area of improvement that I would like to see from Furphy is being more consistent in making his no-dip threes. Right here, he catches the ball in the corner and has to have a quick release. However, the no-dip three doesn't fall. It's an area of his game that I definitely think could improve. In this possession, Furphy's continuously moving and then comes off of what I would almost call in between an exit screen and a Tucker screen from Hunter Dickinson, who pins in this man right here. It's really nice seeing him run with pace and knock down an open three. On this possession again, Furphy's kind of camping in the corner, and then Kansas is going to run what's called a Tucker screen, which is this right here, when the man is in the corner and you basically set what would be an exit screen, but there's no one exiting, so Furphy's already in the corner. It's pretty similar to a pen-in, but PJ Tucker did it a lot in his career, so it's called a Tucker screen, and he's able to knock down this three. On this possession, Furphy comes off of another screen. However, it's a different type of screen this time, as it's a flare screen from Hunter Dickinson. A flare screen is this screen right here, which allows Johnny Furphy to move further along the three-point line. He gets open, and once again, a pretty looking shot. It doesn't fall, but I like seeing how he moves. When it comes to attacking closeouts, Furphy pretty much just relies on straight line drives. Right here, what I love to see is Furphy moving with pace, catching the ball at the wing, and having a nice rip through, and then he uses his length to score. Really good. On this possession, Furphy continues to use straight line drives and his length in order to become an effective player in attacking closeouts. Right here, he rips through and has a nice finish. Although I hate how long it takes him to rip through. Still a good take. On this possession, Johnny Furphy is going to do his attempt at a stampede drive. He catches the ball right here, and as you see, his momentum is already going in this direction, and he's almost running into the pass. He goes through and has a solid take. It's not as strong as I would like, but I like the stampede drive. Right here, Furphy's in the corner. He catches the ball, pump fake, and a sidestep three. It doesn't go in, and I think a big reason why it doesn't go in is because Furphy is very much an uncomfortable shooter off the dribble. I think some of the higher tier shooters in this class, think a Jared McCain or a Reed Shepard, are going to be able to make those shots at a much higher clip just because they're used to it and it's a lot better. And even if you're looking at the guys that are taller, as Zachary Rousseau makes those at a much higher clip, and I think that's a big reason why most scouts have Furphy as a mid-second round pick rather than being as high, because most of the time being 6'9", 6'10" with a good shot would get you a little bit further than it has gotten Johnny Furphy. Now let's move on and watch Johnny Furphy in isolation situations. As I mentioned earlier, pretty much all of Furphy's buckets in isolation come from straight line drives such as this one. Right now, Furphy rips through and uses his length to score. On this possession, Furphy's able to get by his man with a nice move and change of pace. However, Furphy's awkward, and what I hate to see is he doesn't play off of 2 feet and just looks uncomfortable putting the ball up. That's really a trend with Johnny Furphy drives. On this possession, Furphy gets the ball in the corner, jabs in, thinks he has a driving line. However, he's just kind of out of control, and you can tell he's clearly bothered by the size of the Gonzaga defender, and it just doesn't look good. It looks very awkward. On this possession, he's guarded against Tennessee, and you can see very clearly he struggles with this pressure. His man is guarding him. Quick early pickup, which you hate to see. When Furphy doesn't get to his spot on time, he almost always picks up the basketball and then completely telegraphs that pass. On this possession, Johnny Furphy is going to come off of a DHO and have a relatively quick release. Right here, Kansas is going to run a zoom action. For those of y'all who don't know, a zoom is pretty much when a ball screen occurs and it then flows into a DHO, which is this action right here. Hunter Dickinson hands the ball off, and Furphy has a nice, quick release. Additionally, Furphy has shown an ability to curl and drive in off of DHOs. Right here, a DHO is going to occur, and Furphy does a really nice job. And this possession, he actually jumps off of 2 feet, which is a big reason why he has a nice, explosive finish. We're going to see another DHO right here. Furphy's going to get the ball and have a straight line drive. However, it's extremely awkward, and you can tell that he's bothered by the pressure. And this time, he doesn't jump off of 2 feet. He jumps off of 1 foot, and it's a big reason why that shot looks how that shot looked. Now, let's watch a little bit of Johnny Furphy in the pick and roll. He doesn't really set many screens, so despite his height, he's oftentimes used as a screener. Right here, he makes a simple pass and hits the short roll. On this possession, we're going to see Johnny Furphy again. DeJuan Harris kind of dribbles a lot there. Furphy gets the ball, takes one dribble, and steps into a 3. It doesn't go in. Once again, off the dribble shooting is really bad for Furphy. Like, it's not even like it's average, it's significantly below average, and you hate to see that for someone that's being drafted for their shooting. Now, let's move on to Johnny Furphy on the defensive end. Johnny Furphy is not the best defender, but there are a couple of strengths that stand out. The first of which is his length, and with his 6'9" height and a very good wingspan, it makes scouts confident, or not confident, at least hopeful, that they could maybe develop him into being a solid defender. Next, he actually has pretty good pick and roll defense, and one thing that I really like about his game is the fact that he does a really good job handling refuse situations, which typically from defenders that aren't that great, you wouldn't necessarily see that, but it was something where I was really impressed watching him handle refuses, limit them from happening, and just being aware, and that was good to see. There are some major weaknesses to Johnny Furphy's game on the defensive end. The first of which is his ability to fight through off-ball screens. Frequently, when Furphy is clipped, he doesn't necessarily have the strength or the abilities to fight through and get back in on the play. Additionally, Furphy is sometimes caught ball watching and gets beats on cuts and relocations. Finally, Furphy really struggles to handle guards or really any quick man in a driving line scenario, which makes it concerning about his switchability at the next level. Now, let's get into the film and watch Johnny Furphy defensively. On this possession, Johnny Furphy is going to showcase a really good driving line defense in transition, and what I love the most here is his ability to guard without fouling. Really great stuff. On this possession, we're going to see some more positive flashes of Johnny Furphy on the defensive end. as he has to handle a guard here. He does a good job. He gets beat initially and kind of falls, but once again, his length is so promising and it allows him to get that block. On this possession, Johnny Furphy is going to showcase his driving line abilities in a closeout situation. Furphy closes out here and then is really good and once again relies on his length to get a really nice stop. That's what I love to see. You don't always have to slide your feet the best, although he did a good job there. If you have that level of length, it's very exciting and promising for scouts. On this possession, Furphy once again does a good job handling a refuse. However, his physicality is honestly non-existent. This is a guard that completely pushes him in, and once he lowers his hands, he's kind of cooked. On this driving line situation, Furphy once again struggles. He's trying and he does a decent job getting through that screen, but once again, look at his feet here. He doesn't even get clipped by this screen and he's already doesn't look great. He looks a little awkward. He's kind of slowing up and honestly, he just does not provide much resistance on that drive. He's too low. He just feels kind of awkward. Right here, this is even more embarrassing. He gets very lucky that they missed this three, but he's guarding the ball right here. And then boom, change of pace. It's kind of night-night for him. They get very lucky that there's a mystery. It's just awkward and not good pace from Furphy. More of the same here, as Furphy really struggles to handle guards. I'm a little confused why Kansas put him on guards, probably because they liked his length. But once again, it's really easy to get by him. He kind of gets out of a defensive stance really quickly, and defensive-wise, he's pretty inconsistent is a nice word. Bad would be another way to describe him. Right here, Furphy's guarding on the wing, gives up a baseline spin. He tries to remain vertical, yet he doesn't do this nearly at as high as a level as some other defensive wings, such as Orion Dunn, and he actually ends up fouling here. Just really disappointing stuff. Now let's move on and watch Johnny Furphy in pick and roll situations. Right here, Furphy does a really good job handling the refuse and staying in front of his man. This was some of his better driving line defense and really impressive. We're going to see more of the same here, where Kansas State tries to run a ball screen. Furphy's ready and is not beat by the refuse. It's very good to see him do well in those types of situations because it lets you know that there is potential for Furphy defensively. Furphy does have a tendency to get screened, and you look here, he gets clipped and completely takes himself out of the play. Just a barely nudging almost makes him fall over. Honestly, just kind of awkward. Right here, Furphy gets clipped again, does a good job fighting back, but then just the lack of speed from Furphy is really going to hurt him. Baylor's just toying with him right here, honestly. Changing pace, gets right to the rim. Now let's look at Johnny Furphy off ball. On this possession, I really liked his closeout. He chopped his feet, looked good. Right here, he's available as the low man, ready to catch this guy. And then once this pass is made, Furphy closes out again, doesn't blow by, and has active hands. Really great off-ball defense on this possession. Unfortunately, Furphy has a really negative trend of just losing his man off the ball. Right here, Johnny, what are you doing? Your man is literally right here. I don't even know if he's looking at the ball because it looks like he's just looking. I'm flabbergasted. He realizes this late and then doubles down and decides that hacking the man is a winning strategy. Just honestly, really bad defense. Again, Furphy's a little loose with losing the ball. He tries to cheat the screen right here, which is what he basically tries to go this way. Houston players are way too smart for that. They're going to bump back every single time, and it leads to a really open look. On this possession, Furphy's overall screen navigation is not great, and he gets clipped. Right here, as this happens, once again, look how late he is to actually running. Like, this man has all of his momentum already and has a step on Furphy. You're cooked at this point. And he gets clipped, and he gets lucky, but still really poor defense. Overall, Johnny Furphy really is not the most exciting prospect coming into this class. He's extremely raw and has a lot that he has to work on. However, with flashes of really good shooting combined with his height, it's something that is going to intrigue scouts. I think the first question with Furphy is simply, is he or is he not going to go to the NBA? I think right now I would actually be surprised if he did choose to leave and go to the draft just because he is so raw. However, maybe he wants to get his paycheck now, especially with a draft class that is weaker than most years. When evaluating what Furphy's potential career could look like in the NBA, I think more likely than not he's going to be a role player, and I would be really surprised if he ended up starting on any team. I feel like the pretty obvious comp as a player, think like a Doug McDermott, just somebody that comes off the bench, shoots threes. I think he would be definitely a little bit more versatile than a Davis Bertans or somebody like that, but that level of height and shooting is a type of player that you're probably going to see Furphy develop into. I think the biggest risk with him would be the fact that he might never get on the floor because of his defense, which is something that's very true. And I also think the lack of ability to have a secondary thing outside of shooting is a big concern. Although his cutting is a nice plus, it's not going to get you there. Overall, I think Furphy would definitely benefit from staying another year in school, but I think more importantly than that, I think Furphy will be able to learn a lot at this combine, see what he has to work on, hopefully develop a little bit more of a handle, protecting the basketball. I would also like to see Furphy learn how to become a screener. As you mentioned, like in this video, I didn't include a single screen set by Johnny Furphy. And trust me, if he did it, I would have included it. He just simply didn't do it much. Yeah, like overall, I think Furphy has things that he could work on. Definitely would benefit from another year, but if he does choose to go, I wouldn't be shocked if a team took a flyer on him anywhere in like the mid-second round, probably somewhere in the 40s. Thank you all for watching, and that's another episode of The Rim Review.